Lights, camera, innovation. Walt Disney Studios chose advanced 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business to transform the movie-making process. Together, we kept a remote production hub in Hawaii and sync with a team in California to bring Lilo and Stitch to theaters this summer. This is picture-perfect collaboration. This is Walt Disney Studios with T-Mobile for Business. Take your business further at T-Mobile.com/now.
Has Senator Borrello joined us? Senator.
Yes, I'm on.
Good.
How are you, sir?
Good to hear your voice. So with us, Senator, is our mutual and good friend, Chairman Garcia of the Republican Party, a man you know well. I understand you're out in Suffolk the other day with Senator Ort, visiting with Jesse. Yes. How wonderful that must have been.
It was a great event, and boy, they know how to rally the troops out there in Suffolk, that's for sure.
Well, as you know, gentlemen, I have a house out in Suffolk, and I know it's in good hands because Chairman Garcia is the Republican County Chair of Suffolk County. And last week we had one of your colleagues, Senator, or the week before, Senator Palumbo, who represents the district where my house is, a wonderful man and a great public servant. We had him on the show. What Jesse and I want to talk to you about are two issues, Senator. Now, you're one of the leaders of the state Senate, and you're one of the people who's most responsible for trying to bring back common sense to Albany. And how do you do that? The first issue is you have to stop this overwhelming Democratic supermajority, which means that every kind of ridiculous left-wing progressive proposal can be passed, and even if the governor had the courage or the strength to veto it, they can override the veto. So Jesse and I have been talking for years about stopping this supermajority, and you're leading that campaign with Senator Ort, and you'd be commended. The other issue Jesse and I want to talk to you about is Proposition 1, which I respectfully submit is a death blow to the future of New York State if it goes through. Which topic would you like to discuss first, Senator Borrello?
Well, why don't we start with the fact that Prop 1 is an incredibly damaging and I would say evil. I would put it into the category of evil piece of legislation that satisfies the most radical fringe elements in politics. But to combine it with the idea of a veto-proof supermajority, this is the reason why we have radical pieces of legislation like this that are getting passed by the governor, by the legislature, and then signed by the governor because of the fact that they have this veto-proof supermajority. So we're going to combine both issues, I guess. But let's start with Prop 1. This is a Trojan horse like never seen before. Attorney Bobby Ann Cox and her group, Congressman Lee Zeldin, have been fighting the good fight. But the people of New York State don't realize the flowery language that you see is just a Trojan horse. It is covering up what this change to our New York State Constitution will actually do. It will absolutely take away parental rights because you cannot discriminate based on age. Such a broad language that it doesn't give any guardrails whatsoever. It will give non-citizens the rights that New York State citizens have, rights to all of the benefits a New York State citizen has, including the right to vote, because you cannot discriminate based on national origin. Again, no guardrails, no limits. And it will allow men to compete in women's sports and to violate women's spaces. We're talking about men competing in women's sports, using their locker rooms, using their bathrooms, being eligible for their scholarships. The party of the so-called Party of Women's Rights, the Democrat Party, can't tell you what a woman is, and this is proof of that. They want to make sure that we will no longer be able to define someone based on being male and female, and that is what Prop 1 will do. It is the most dangerous piece of legislation I have ever seen in my life.
And I agree with that, and Jess and I have been talking about this. I'll tell you, it's having been the general counsel of the New York City Council, drafted hundreds, maybe thousands of pieces of legislation, either personally or with my staff, and having to either defend them in court or advocate for them before bar associations and community groups and editorial boards. I'll tell you this. It's limitless what harm they can do with this legislation. So, for example, they can make New York State a permanent sanctuary state, not cooperate with the federal government. They can create entitlements that people should not have. So, for example, reparations. They'll give out reparations, which will bankrupt the state of New York to selected classes of people that they believe should have reparations. If a father or mother doesn't want their 12-year-old child butchered by a doctor and tries to intercede in that before the kid is 12 years old, who's a minority, a nurse can't give a kid an aspirin in a public school without parental consent, but they can be butchered, and you can hide the fact that the kids are going through transition surgeries from the parents. And the schools could be banned from telling the parents this is going on. And if a parent tries to intercede, they can be prosecuted both civilly and criminally, and a kid could be taken away from them. This is serious business, Senator. What say you?
Absolutely. This is the state interceding and acting as the parental figure. It is the nightmare scenarios you saw in Nazi Germany and in communist countries in the former Soviet Union. This is the kind of thing where the state believes they are going to have dominion over children. That's what this will do. Now, you may say, well, there are other states that have passed similar protections, and that hasn't happened. First of all, I challenge that. In California, which passed a similar law with many more restrictions, many more guardrails, they sued and said that now Medicaid benefits, the most expensive part of our budget in New York State, Medicaid benefits in California now will, by constitutional law, will now have to be given to illegal immigrants in California because they changed the state constitution and said we cannot discriminate someone based on national origin.
Right, and I'll turn this over to Jesse, but the point is the language is so broad, it's so vague, you can push anything through it, and that's the danger. They call it an equal rights amendment. It's not. Jesse, we have 3 minutes to go. Your turn.
Shopping is hard, right? But I found a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. I just give my stylist my size, style, and budget preferences. I order boxes when I want and how I want. No subscription required. And he sends just for me pieces, plus outfit recommendations and styling tips. I keep what works and send back the rest. It's so easy. Make style easy. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Spotify. That's stitchfix.com/Spotify.
Build professional skills this semester with Adobe Creative Cloud and create standout work both in and out of the classroom. Save big on professional creativity tools. Students get 65% off Adobe Creative Cloud, including Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, Acrobat Pro, and 20+ creative apps. No matter what project you're working on, Adobe Creative Cloud apps can help you take it to the next level. Visit adobe.com/student to learn more.
Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
We off? 30 seconds of carefree bliss.
Oof, like wind in your hair carefree.
Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree.
Yes.
Like dog slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox Carefree.
He's on a roll now.
Spit toothpaste on the faucet.
You got it. You got it.
Peanut butter on the light switch.
Oh, spritz, spritz.
Spritz, spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good.
Okay, we're back.
Use as directed.
Senator, thank you again. I mean, we had a packed house on about a week ago on Monday night with Anthony Palumbo over in Miller Place and rallying for him. So thank you. And Senator Ort, the Republican conference leader, for being there. You guys have been great partners for our 4 senators and our 7 senators here, first in Suffolk and, of course, in Nassau and Long Island as a whole. But I think that people should know, along with this is really attacking on parents' rights, is the fact that the way the Democrats manipulated this to ensure that it became part of the presidential election process, as opposed to in 2023 when it was supposed to have gone on the ballot. Can you speak to that issue a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. They're saying this is a constitutional crisis, that we have to do this now because of the overturning of Roe v. Wade. By the way, I just saw a UAlbany law professor that was speaking out saying that there is no way, the way this language is written, it's actually going to protect the right to an abortion. So they even screwed up the easy part, quite honestly. But to your point, if this is such a crisis, that why wasn't it put on the ballot a year ago? This was passed in plenty of time that it could have been on the November 2023 ballot, but they chose to hold it over for two reasons. Number one, to drive their voter base out, because they feel that this is going to be something that's going to drive the base out in a year when Democrats have literally nothing else to run on but abortion, because the state is in such shambles under their leadership. And number two, because they felt that there would just be more people coming out that wouldn't inform themselves on the damaging consequences of Prop 1. Low information voters, as they're often referred to. That's what they were counting on to pass this. But people are waking up. People are realizing what damage this will do, and I believe we have a good shot of overturning this and making sure it does not appear and does not pass this year and does not become a part of our Constitution.
Well, I want to make a final comment to you, Senator, and to you, Mr. Chairman. This is such a bad proposal that even Newsday newspaper, which tilts to the progressive left, the Democratic Party, opposes this as being overbroad and vague and a dangerous piece of legislation. Even Newsday has come out against this. And by the way, when Governor Hochul the other day said the people who oppose this are evil, she's attacked all those people of faith who believe, the Catholic Church, for example, and practicing Catholics, and other religions as well. People who believe that this is dangerous in terms of parents' rights and real equal rights for people and protecting our daughters and our granddaughters, they're calling us evil.
Yes.
Imagine that.
Outrageous.
And that's the governor of the state of New York, another Democrat who says she's a great unifier. Senator George Borrello, thank you very much for joining Chairman Garcia and myself.